Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria Ayodele Fash. If it's your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. If you're a true subscriber, I love you, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for always coming back. Okay, so guys, please, before we do this video, I want to entreat you guys to please like this video. Okay, liking the video ensures that YouTube recommends the video to other people, so please hit the like button. I promise you will like the video. Okay. All right, so today, so last week, thank you guys so much for the great engagement and for the wishes, the congratulations, all the messages. I couldn't respond to everyone, but I saw your messages and I am truly grateful to you guys. All right, so last week at the end of the video, I asked you guys that, if there's anything you need advice on, something that you need clarification on, you guys should send me a message, and a number of you actually did. You sent me some DMs, I got some comments, and I will just be trying to use this video to address one or two of them, and then I'll address the rest as we go. So in case you still have a question you want to ask me, you can always reach me via Instagram on victoria.a.fash. Okay, all right, so I'm going to be starting with a comment. This person says, happy 4th anniversary. Thank you. She said, I'd love to hear about your experience navigating finances and money matters in your marriage, particularly given the age difference between you and your spouse, and the age difference between you guys, and your move to study abroad. How did you effectively manage the challenges of a long distance as newlyweds while also handling your financial situation? Your insights would be valuable. Okay, all right, so I think these are well, it's one question, but okay, let me try to answer that. So yes, finances is like a very big deal in marriage. It's one of the things that makes or breaks a marriage, and I always say that those are one of the things that you should discuss before you get married. How are we handling our finances? How open are the two of you about finances? Now, I would say in my marriage, is there a difference between how it was in Nigeria and here? I don't really think so. Obviously, when I was in Nigeria, I think not now thinking about how much we're earning, but we're talking about earning capacity. Me and my husband were earning almost the same thing every month. Some months, we're earning almost the same thing every month, and the way we make expenses has changed a little bit here, because obviously there's school fees to be paid here. There are a lot of bills to be paid here. In Nigeria, you pay your bills once a year, like your rent once a year, and then NEPA bill and all of that. Depends on what you have on ground. But for us, before we got married, we've always been open about our finances. There is no time or no job that I have had or that my husband has had that I don't know how much he earns. So when the money comes in, it's almost automatic. We know where the money is, where the money is going into. It's going into savings. So in Nigeria, my husband usually gets paid before me. When his money comes in, that's what we use to settle all the bills and everything that needs to be settled. What needs to go into savings and everything. We know that, okay, when my money come in, they will look at what is left to be done. Okay, transportation, okay, this and that, and we share it. That's literally what we used to do in Nigeria. Yeah, and the money was never enough. I don't know why. No matter how much we're earning at the time, it wasn't just enough. Yeah, it just wasn't enough. So, but we have always been, okay, his money is our money, my money is our money. There is no my money or his money. But obviously he's the man, so he always makes more commitment than he would allow me to, because it's not because I'm saying, oh, I'm the woman, my money. No, I don't work with that mentality. Now, so that was it in Nigeria. There was never I don't think we ever had an agreement of, okay, this is how we are going to split our salary. I don't think we ever had that. We just took it month on month as it goes, and that. So, and then here, I would say that the dynamics of bills and the amount of things we are now responsible for has changed. Like every month we have to send money to Nigeria. I mean, sometimes, yeah, we have to send money, a particular amount to Nigeria. My husband sent his, I send mine, because we have commitments over there, right? I send mine. And then here, obviously, there are bills to be paid. I mean, for the money we send to Nigeria, everybody take whatever it is from your salary to send, right? But I know we both know how much we send every month to Nigeria. But here, right now, I have tuition to pay, and there's a particular amount that goes into tuition fund every month. We have rent to pay every month, and that comes out of, that's also a particular amount that comes out every month. And then we don't pay bills yet. That's one of the things I'm dreading about leaving this house. As much as I'm so tired of leaving this house and I'm so ready to, to move to the next level, just that thought of, oh my goodness, I will start paying bills. I'm not wearing my ring. I will start paying, I think my ring is here actually. Here. Just that thought of, oh my God, I will start paying bills, light bills, heater, electricity, internet, water. Those are things that everything is inclusive in our bills, in our rent here. But we know when we move to a bigger space, it's not going to be the same. Well, let me manifest it. It will be the same in Jesus' name, but realistically, it's not the same. It's not going to be the same. So for now, thankfully, that's not a thing that we do. Everything is already inclusive in our rent, and our rent has been increased. It will be increased in December. But anyway, so yeah, we have that, and there's money for, we have some few things maybe that we pay for every month. So that one, we also have those recurring bills, credit card payments, which really I only use my credit card for like things in the house to buy like food and everything, and then I repay every month. What else? So those are like the major things that we know that is a recurring thing every month. And now, because I'm a student, I'm only allowed to work 20 hours a week. My husband, on the other hand, is a dependent, and he's allowed to work as many times as possible. He's allowed to work full time. Obviously, he earns higher. So it's not, here you earn by the hours you work, right? I only work 20 hours a week, which is half what he works in a week. So obviously, he earns higher than I do. So when a salary comes, tax, insurance, those ones automatic. Okay, so it's what is left that comes into your salary or into your bank account at the end of the month. So when that comes in, obviously he pays most of it, like the rent, my tuition, and all of that. Most of the big money comes from him. So when my husband, I feel so bad for him, because by the time he's done analyzing, he probably has just the little money left. And then I, on the other hand, take care of the feeding of the house. I take care of the feeding. And yeah, that's basically like anything food in this house is my department. My husband, that's just the way we do. And the truth is, we never had a conversation about, oh, this is what we are going to do. No, it's just a thing of, okay, what do we have, right? And then we analyze. Before I started working, he was the one doing everything, because I want to see the money, right? But when I started working, I'm like, okay, this is what we'll do. This will come into savings, this will come into this, and and all of that. So basically, how we handle finances in the house, it's not a 50-50 thing. We've never been a 50-50 kind of a couple, and it's also not a 100 80-20. No, for us, every money that comes in, we bring it together and then we analyze. If he even till now, he still takes, he still gets his pay most times before I do. And when his money comes in, we settle everything that needs to be sorted out. Okay, we'll put in this fund, we'll put in here, we'll remove rent, we'll put this, we'll put that, with this. Even I take money from him and all. And when my money comes, what is left, we distribute it. That's how it has always worked for us, even here in the United Kingdom. So nothing has really changed. I will always say that, before you get married, have that conversation. Know the kind of person you're marrying. What is his relationship with money like? Is he a person that likes to hide, when he has money? Is he a person that, has a very secretive relationship with money? He doesn't want you to know what he earns. Is he a person that is also be telling you that, oh, 50-50 from the beginning? You already know that he's a person that wants you to contribute equally to the house. Have that conversation. Me and my husband had that conversation before, and I always knew that, the conversation, I think, if I can remember, very fadely. The conversation went like, okay, he's like, you know what, whatever you have, you bring. But I've always been like, no, I don't. If you're earning, and I still told him the other day that when you start earning the money that I want, then I will start billing you. But for now, our money is our money. I don't even think when he start earning that, anyway, I'm sure he will say, because that's the thing about my husband. He will always say, let us finish my own. When we finish my own, then let us now look at what you have and see if it will be okay for you. That's always how he has been, especially with money, even when we're dating and up until now. So that I would say we are financially compatible in that way, right? So I would always say, when living abroad, my goodness, it would take a toll on your marriage, on your relationship. It changes a lot of things, because a lot of things we're not used to. The amount of bills you pay, the amount of rent you pay, the amount of taxes you pay. It's crazy, the amount of hours you have to work, right? So one person will always feel like, oh, I'm doing so much, and my wife or my husband, because they're a student, they're not doing as much. It can build a lot of resentment, because you feel like you're tired and the other person is not doing as much because they cannot do as much, and it can build a lot of things between the two of you. But if you have a very good foundation, financial compatibility foundation, it will really help you guys. So know what you want as a woman. What because I always say as a woman, because you are the one that gets to choose who you marry, right? The guys will come, but you will decide who you go with. What kind of financial whatever do you want? And just be reasonable, okay? And then you determine, you have that conversation and know the kind of person that he is, and start to see the traces before you get married, right? Because, and again, if you're saying the guy, if he loses his job, right, who takes up the financial responsibility? It's the woman. I've been in that situation before. So that's the idea. If we see our money as his money, my money as our money, it doesn't matter who is making the money. Everything needs to be sorted out. And that's just it. The days that maybe he has a lot of responsibilities, maybe back home, maybe because of a project or something, it's a no-brainer for me. I know most of my salary will go into this and that. It is never a conversation. It is never a fight, right? But that's just the way we are. Right? So yeah, living abroad does change. It changes a lot of things. So you guys need to make sure you are on the same page before you move abroad. And then she mentioned, she said, particularly given the age difference between you, I always say this, there is a very good gap between me and my husband, but the age like I used to even forget that like it's not something that is in front of us. Oh yes, it's my elder brother. Like my mom would say, it's so insignificant in my head, like so insignificant in our lives. It's not even something that you even remember until somebody points it out. Oh, that's true, it's older. Who cares, really? So age difference has never been a factor in our marriage, and it has never been before we got married. And it was something I told him, like, that I love you, that I respect you. It's not because you're older than me, it's because you're my head, it's because you're my husband. I told him that several times before we got married, and that is the same thing. I honor my husband, as my head, as my leader, not as somebody older than me, because trust me, there are people that are older than me and they don't deserve my respect. So age has never been a factor for anything in our marriage. And when I mean anything, I mean literally anything. It does not count in this house. But honor, respect, leadership, yes, those are the things that I honor, that I look at. And I really think, even if you're getting married, to somebody that is older than you, I don't think age should be that thing that's, is my elder, I don't really think so. Because it's older than me does not mean we cannot relate as friends, does not mean we can, I'll not be afraid to bring up, sir, I need more money. Never. If I want to ask money for my husband, now if I ask him for one thing, if he doesn't have it, he will look for it and give me. That's just the kind of person he is. And it's the same thing for me. There are times I'll go to the market to buy something for myself. I will end up buying everything for my husband. It's just it. When you love each other genuinely, some of these things are automatic for you, I would say. So age difference never been a factor in this marriage. Never. And your move to study abroad. How did you effectively manage the challenges of a long distance as newlywed while also handling financial situation? Long distance. When I was in the US, I did not need money from Nigeria because naira to dollar is rubbish. Okay. In short, I sometimes, my husband, I will be the one to send money, home to be able to handle a few things, just because I was earning more, in the grand scheme of things. My tuition was paid for. I wasn't paying anything, apart from health insurance and whatever. But for the most part of it, I did not really need anything from home. So his salary, he was using it to handle his feeding, bills and everything for himself. And I was doing well for myself, and we were both saving. He was saving in naira, I was saving in dollars, and everything was good. So yeah, we had to understand that, because it would be really unwise for me to be asking to send money when I knew that what I had there was enough for me. And instead, if anybody should be doing that, it should be me, because I was earning higher. And for the long distance, I have a lot of videos talking about long distance marriage and everything. We were able to make do. I think that God saw ahead. So before we got married, we already had practice of 1 year long distance. So it wasn't really that a big deal for it was a huge deal. Don't let me say that. It was a lot of process, but I've done videos about that. I don't want to repeat myself. Just have a good understanding between the two of you. Communicate. Talk about everything. Everything, your finances, your health, what you're feeling, how you're feeling, if you're feeling neglected, if you're feeling like he's not giving you the attention, just talk about everything, right? And resolve everything. Talk about it in love, right? Because when you guys, when you are long distance, emotions are always high thing, especially if one person is, I remember there were times that I was the busy one, right? I was always busy. I would come back. My husband would not sleep until 12 a.m. because he's waiting for me to get back from work. And then we'll come and he's tired, and I'm not calling him when I get home. And then he'll be the one to ask me, are you home? And I'll be like, yes. Oh my God, I just got home. I'll be like, so I've been waiting, so issues like that will happen, but it's how you respond. I've always come to realize that it's how you respond. Oh, I'm so sorry, babe. I was so tired. It's no excuse. I will do better. That's it. You don't need so long. And then sometimes it will go, no, but it's not the first time. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Because you are the one in the wrong. But when you're not trying, oh, don't you understand that, things are hard? Don't you understand? My dear, you will fight for a long time. So you have to select your battles. And, if you have to pay tuition there, what is his earning capacity? Before you go, can you guys afford it? And if you can, right, just make sure that you are giving as much as possible. There's no selfishness in marriage. If you're selfish, either of you, that marriage marriage will not work, right? So if you are the one abroad, you're earning higher, why not, assist if the help is needed at home? Like, it's a no-brainer for me in my marriage. It's a no-brainer. Even when I don't have, I want to give. And it's the same thing with him. So when you guys are giving to each other like that, the finances should not be a problem. And as far as 4 years, never had an issue with finances. I mean, there were times that he wasn't earning and all of that. At times here in the UK that I was not earning. But you will never know, because when he earns the money, he brings the money back home. I'm the one that will determine where the money goes. So that's just the way it is. But do what works for you. Do what works for your partner. For some people, the man is the one who manages the home. Just do what works for you. But have that conversation, communicate. If there's anything about finances that you don't like, talk to your partner. If it becomes a big deal that he's not listening, get a mediator if you can. Someone you trust, your pastor, somebody that you will not hear it outside. Get a mediator to have those conversations if you have to. But try everything you can to come to an agreement first before you bring any form of third party. Let that always be your last resort. But before you get married is the best time to have this conversation, to discuss these things, and to know what the attitude of the person is when it comes to money. When we're dating, there were times that maybe my husband works in civil service. Maybe sometimes the salary they didn't pay on time or what. I want to come to Abuja. In short, most of the times I went to Abuja, I funded my trip by myself. I don't used to ask him for anything, right? I would travel from Lagos to Abuja, from Ghana to Abuja, and I will fund it by myself. It's not because of anything. It's just the way I was brought up. I was brought up to be independent. I don't ask anybody for money, right? So that is just the way I am, right? But I know that when I come there, everything that has to do with my trip, me settling, that he's going to provide. And when I'm going, he's going to give me money. So, and the days he does not give me, it's not a big deal, because you know why? I know if he doesn't give me, it's because he does not have. It's not because he's stingy with his money. So yeah, I was going to answer 2 questions, but I don't think I can do that anymore because this is 18 minutes already. And I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, so I hope that this answers your question. How do you also handle financial? Your insight will be valuable. Yeah, I hope that answers your question. The other questions are things that I need to go into details on. So I will not be able to continue on this particular video, but I will answer those questions in subsequent videos. So if you've asked me a question or you're asking me, don't worry, I will definitely get to it and we'll have that conversation together. But I hope that this has, I don't know, you've learned 1 or 2 things from this. So thank you guys so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. If you have not liked this video, please make sure that you do so, okay? And remember, you can always send me a DM at victoria.a.fash on Instagram and leave a comment and I'll get back to you. All right, thank you guys so very much. I'll see you guys in the next one. Until then, I stream in Victoria Ayodele Fash, and I'll see you guys in the next one for the talk. Okay, bye. Bye guys.